What's happening, folks? Back with another reaction, back with some more Arabesque. And once again, big shout out to Chafic for sharing the catalog and for providing a great amount of detail. And in that regard, we continue to go through Marigot Bay, and this next tune is called Bye Bye My Love. Unlike some of the others on the album and the track listing provided by Chafic, it's not shown as being a single, so yeah, ultimately, Bye Bye My Love, it sounds pained, it sounds like there's still fondness, but for whatever reason, it's time to part ways. I suppose that could be by situation or circumstance, but perhaps someone is ending the relationship even though they know that they still love the person. Maybe they're the one being broken up with, so maybe the Bye Bye My Love is to someone whose back is already turned and heading somewhere else, and it's more about the way the narrator feels and not so much about the former relationship itself. Either way, it sounds sad, is I guess what I mean to say. Let's listen. This is Arabesque. The tune is Bye Bye My Love, and it's from their 1980 album Marigot Bay. Whispered vocal. My one and only one. I like this section a lot. Bye Bye My Love. Great, we should keep it on that line. This part is great. It sounds complicated. Another fun tune, and I have to say, like, you know, I keep commenting on it. I feel like one of my favorite things they do is their use of strings in a disco setting. I've heard that before. I don't know a great deal of disco, but the little bit that I did know going into this, it is a layer I had heard, but the way they use strings in Arabesque tunes, it really has this mystique to it. It really has this drama to it. So yeah, and obviously, you know, some different riffs in different tunes, but this is another one where I immediately sort of latched on to the epic string work, and it sounds lyrically complicated. Like, it sounds like she's the one leaving, she's the one closing the door, and she's not going to come back, and she's saying don't cry when she's gone. But then she's also saying, like, when you're kissing me like this, I know I can't stay, or something to that effect. So, like, I'm not quite sure exactly what's happening, but it sounds like she's made up her mind to leave, but she definitely, you know, like, he's the only one she's ever been in love with, is what it sounds like. You know, bye bye, my love, my only one. But again, if she's the one closing the door and advising him, you know, don't cry, don't let this, you know, drag you down, then, you know, there's some situational reason perhaps, or maybe she doesn't trust herself with him, and, you know, when she kisses him like that, it's like, no, I have to leave, because if I stay, you know, who knows what's going to happen. So maybe that's the dynamic. Either way, I'm going to assume again that Sandra on the lead, you know, it sounded like, you know, a more youthful voice. Admittedly, I need to get back to the Sandra solo deep dive. It's not going to happen in this session, but I'll try to make that happen soon. Because again, I think, like, if I listen to them in tandem now, the sort of Sandra fronted Arabesque with the solo Sandra, I imagine, you know, over a reasonable period of time, I should be able to lock in her voice, and sort of, you know, obviously I'll be listening to songs from different years, and, you know, people's voice does change over time, but people's voices do change over time. Nevertheless, yeah, I'm going to assume, again, this was a Sandra led tune, and I do like the breathy backing vocals, like whispered vocals in some parts. It adds to the sort of intimate feeling, which, again, the bedroom, closing the door, leaving, but, you know, being, like, kissing, like, it does feel a very emotionally intimate tune, and also physical. So yeah, another fun disco track. I feel like their tunes would have been really cool to dance to on the dance floor. Obviously, you know, I was born in '80, so I was just a wee babe, or probably not even born yet. I was born in December, so without knowing exactly when the album was released, unless it was released, you know, the last 2 weeks of the year, and even then they would have recorded the tunes before. So I was not yet born, but ultimately, as someone who came to enjoy later dance floors and, you know, other types of dance music, I do feel like Arabesque tunes would have a real, you know, have people grooving on the dance floor, especially, again, with those strings. So shout out to Chafic once again. When we come back next time, since I have the track list out, let me just check very briefly. When we come back next time, it will be Midnight Dancer, Japan only release, so we look forward to that. And yeah, ultimately, so many more tunes to go. Honestly, we have, you know, over 80 tracks to go through, so we've only really just begun. Once again, big shout out to Chafic for sharing all this. Do let me know what you think. I will see you next time. Peace.